Very good afternoon, my fellow brethren, wherever you are, and welcome to this afternoon's meditation session. I've been down for 3 days. This fourth day, I've been down with terrible backache, but I want to say glory be to God because we managed to overcome through mindfulness, meditation, contemplative prayer, and just believing that God is capable of making us well. This afternoon, we want to briefly and quickly talk about who is your best friend while we prepare ourselves to meditate. And please do sit comfortably, somewhere where you can feel your feet on the floor, your toes on the floor, your body on the floor, your body on a chair, on a sofa. Make yourself comfortable. And your hands, pray, or you can just put them over each other. It's all up to you. And just drop them somewhere on your lap, between your legs, where you feel comfortable. And make sure your back is as straight as is possible. And also comfortable. Don't force yourself to be, straight. If you can do that, that's okay. If you can't, then please don't. Just make yourself comfortable. And so that you don't get yourself disturbed, it's time for you to put your phone on flight mode so that it doesn't ring and disturb you. Or put it on silence, complete silence, not on vibration, because vibration will disturb you. And take the initial 3 breaths to put yourself in a relaxing mood. Always through the nose, and you hold it, and you breathe out through the mouth. And just make yourself comfortable. Another breath in. Now, what I want you to do is to just, focus your attention to something that is static so that you don't distract your eyes, or just gently close your eyes and listen. And at the end of the talk, I'm going to be silent, and then we meditate quietly. And when you hear me talking next, that will be our meditation coming to an end. And I'm going to set this to 45 minutes. Our timer is on. So, who is your best friend? As we meditate this afternoon, I want you to ask yourself this question. Who is your best friend? Who is my best friend? Maybe you're starting by defining what a friend is. How to choose a good friend. What characteristics do you look for in a good friend? Where do you get, or where do you find the best friends? What do you expect from a good friend? I can imagine possibly you are making a personal reflection, looking at what sort of person you are, who I am, who am I, what makes me who I am. Am I happy about myself? Am I impressed by myself? Who is your best friend? Maybe when we talk about a best friend, we are talking of that person whom you can confide in, someone you can talk to, and they are ready and willing to listen. Someone who is there for you for free. Someone who can sacrifice their time, who can sacrifice even their finances, someone who can even put their life on the line for you. We're talking maybe about someone whom, if you tell them something, you know they are going to keep it and not go about talking about it with other people. You might be talking also looking at someone who doesn't slug you behind your back. And possibly by now you are realizing the person you are talking about, or the person you are looking at, or the person that you are seeking to be a best friend, is someone who is almost a replica of yourself. So, who is your best friend? Have you noticed something that whenever you have gone to that person you call your best friend, someone you call a friend, and you are telling them your problems or you are asking them a question, you also feel like you are telling yourself the problem, or you're asking yourself the question. And sometimes before your friend even offers you possible solutions or suggestions or answers, you already have got answers or solutions to the problem or to the question. So who is your best friend? Just taking a deep breath through your nose, and as you breathe out, just try to find the answer to this question. Who is my best friend? Now, when we started this meditation session, what I asked us to do was to sit comfortably. In other words, I was prompting us to consider ourselves first, to look at ourselves first, and make ourselves comfortable. What I was asking ourselves to do was to be kind and loving towards ourselves, to be compassionate towards ourselves, to be warm-hearted towards ourselves as we prepare ourselves for meditation. Because until you find yourself to be worthy, until you consider yourself to be important, until you consider yourself to be the best, to be the person, to matter, it will be very difficult for you to keep still body, mind, and even your soul. So the best friend that you need to look for starts from within yourself. Because let's say, for example, in a good friend, you said, I want someone who is trustworthy. Are you trustworthy yourself? How much do you trust yourself? If you said you want somebody who is loving and kind, how loving and kind are you towards yourself? Because you are someone's best friend, isn't it? So all these qualities need to start with you. They need to start or to begin from within you. So you ought to be your own best friend. Let me say this, my dear brethren. This is an honest truth about life. You are born on your own, and you will die on your own. Even twins, triplets, and so on. It might appear impractical they are born on the same day, but they are born on their own. So, with that in mind, you ought to know and to remember that first it is you before anyone else. So when we are talking of friendship, we're talking of befriending ourselves first. How loving and kind are you towards yourself? How forgiving are you towards yourself? How empathic are you towards yourself? How compassionate are you towards yourself? And how warm-hearted are you towards yourself? How truthful are you towards yourself? Let me say this. If you have got a friend and they call you, like today is Friday, and they say, oh, so and so, you know what, tomorrow can we go for a drink or a meal out, and we want to go to Nando's at Ganwaf Keys, and at Nando's at Ganwaf Keys, we want to go at 2 o'clock, and we are going to be there for an hour, and we are going to eat chicken breasts. Our starter is going to be gizzards with naan bread, and we are going to have a salad and bottomless drinks, and everyone is going to have a couple of Cokes, and they are just all over. What will you say to such a friend? Obviously, you are going to say, sorry, I'm busy tomorrow. I want you to turn that to yourself. How controlling are you towards yourself? When you wake up in the morning, or in the afternoon, or it's in the evening, how do you talk to yourself? Are you loving and kind? Are you such friend who says, hi, Kuda, what's up? Tomorrow, are you busy, my friend? I was thinking maybe we could go to Ganwaf Keys for a meal. What restaurant do you fancy? And how much time do you think we're going to be out there? They are consulting, they are considerate, they are asking you. How are you going to respond to such a friend? Now consider yourself. How do you converse with yourself? Are you such kind of a person who wants your body to do things that you haven't given it even a chance to consider, to think about, to ponder, to reflect? Or does your body want your mind to do things that it has not consulted with it? Remember, I said earlier on, when you go to your friend and you're telling them your problems, your troubles, issues, and so on, you listen to your own voice You listen to your own questions. And usually, before they even respond, you've got solutions to those problems. You've got answers to the questions. Who is your best friend? You are your best friend. And if you have said you would want or consider a best friend to be someone who is loving and kind, how kind and loving are you towards yourself? Do you consult with your tummy, with your mouth, before you consume anything? Does your mind and your body hold an open air discussion about the meal? My body, what are you fancying to eat this evening? You will be shocked and surprised that your tummy will answer you, your mouth will answer you. And if that food is available or not available, try to negotiate with yourself to find an alternative. All I am saying here is we need to love ourselves. We need to be kind towards ourselves. We need to be forgiving. We need to be empathic and to be warm-hearted, to be compassionate towards ourselves. Because you are your own best friend. I can tell you this. I said earlier on, you are born alone and you will die alone. If you are not able to make yourself your best friend, you will find life very, very unbearable when you are left all by yourself and it's only you and everybody else is gone. And these things happen. In these times of COVID-19, we have heard harrowing stories where people have been unwell, very, very unwell, and they are in hospital and no visitors are allowed. This is when you realize that if you are not capable of being your own best friend, then life is going to be difficult and very, very unbearable. Imagine a worst case scenario. People have been arrested, accused of crimes that they have not committed. And they have been put in remand, they have been put in jail, solitary confinement. If you are not able to make friends with yourself, if you are not your own best friend, life is going to be unbearable. But if you know that I am my own best friend, I can talk to myself, I can cheer myself, I can encourage myself, I can talk myself out of depression, I can talk myself out of dark thoughts. You know you are an overcomer. Remember our Lord Jesus Christ, when the dark hour was coming, was approaching, he even said to his disciples, you are all going to desert me, each one of you going to their own homes, and I will be all by myself, but I'm not scared because I know God who is in me and I in him will be with me. In other words, Jesus Christ's trust was in himself, knowing that he was his own best friend. Let me say, my dear brethren, this is why we are teaching. This is why we are constantly talking, every day talking about meditation, mindfulness, to teach ourselves to be at peace, even when we are on our own. To be able to cheer ourselves, to be able to accept that the moment, what it is what it is, for good or for worse, who knows? And being able to tolerate the moment without wanting it to change to what we feel or what we expect, we assume that it should be, but to let it be what it is. Who is your best friend? I'm going to be silent so that you can meditate upon this question. And the answer to the question that you are your best friend. The other person is secondary. You are the primary friend. And you need to start being loving and kind towards yourself, to trust yourself, to be your own confidante, to be forgiving towards yourself, to be empathic, compassionate, warm-hearted, and truthful. What I've said is, you were born alone and you'll die alone. There are times when all these physical friends will depart us, relatives even your wife, your husband, your children. There are times when they cannot be there. But if you have got trust in your own, trust towards yourself, I can tell you and I can assure you, even when you are plunged into a dark cave and it appears like there is no hope, you cannot even see the light at the end of the tunnel. And you know there is only God. There's only Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit. You will be okay and you will be safe on your own and you will survive. If you cannot befriend yourself, then you won't last 24 hours. I'm going to be silent, like I said, and the next time you hear me talking, we'll be bringing this meditation to an end. Consider, who are you? What type of a friend are you? Are you one who is controlling? Are you someone who is demanding? Are you someone who is self-opinionated? Are you dictatorial in your approach to doing things? What sort of friend are you? Loving, kind, forgiving, empathic, compassionate, warm-hearted, truthful? Now, as we come towards the end of our meditation, we just want to teach ourselves to be kind and loving towards ourselves by checking ourselves out. You remember, starting from the toes, just asking your toes, how are you this afternoon? If it is evening, whatever time it is, how are you today? And patiently listen. You'll get a response to your feet. Do the same to your ankles. Visualize them in the eye of your mind, asking your ankles, how are you? Your shins, your calves, up to your knees, your legs, thighs. Just checking your bum, taking stock of each and every part of your body, to your groin, up to your tummy, visualizing inside your internal organs, the large intestines, the small intestines, the stomach, the spleen, the gallbladder, the liver, the diaphragm, the lungs, the heart, your spinal cord, the spine itself, the rib cage, your chest. Just being loving and kind. How are you? My shoulders, your upper arms, elbows, your forearms, your wrists, your hands, your fingers. You can feel where they are touching, up to your neck, your face. You can afford a smile. Yes, it's very important. You know, the smile is one of the most powerful tools in dealing with emotions, especially difficult ones, anger, frustrations, annoyance, anxiety, fear. Just smile them away. And you turn to your head, your mind. You know, let your mind be the mind. Let it relax, let it be calm. Don't try to control it. Don't try to direct it, what to think about. Don't try to tell it off. Just observe and let the mind be the mind. Let it do whatever it wants to do. No questions asked. Just sit still, and let the mind also be still. You will find that when you let your mind be your mind and let your body be your body, calm and still, you open certain windows of life that bring in some tranquility, that bring in this pleasant feeling, that brings you, in connection with the true world and peace. And it is at that moment that you understand and you accept that as long as you have got yourself, you have got your best friend, and you are your best friend. All you need to do is to learn to interact with your mind and your body. Teach this to be loving and kind towards each other, to be forgiving, to be empathic, compassionate, warm-hearted, and truthful. And let them deal with each other justly. Let there be justice. I know there are times when you have felt that your body has betrayed you. The mind has felt sometimes the body has let it down. And the body, there are times also when it has felt the mind has let it down. You know, it could be that day when you almost punched someone. You were almost arrested, or you were arrested because your mind could not calm itself, the emotion of anger. And you're so angry towards your emotions, towards your mind. Teach yourself to be forgiving. I want you to take in a deep breath. And as you breathe out slowly, I want you to gently open your eyes and be aware and present in the moment. And have a smile. That, yes, you have managed to sit and reflect on who your best friend is by listening to Evangelist Mangwende. Now, some people might be asking, what is this all about? You're talking like the body and the mind, you've got a separate mind and so on. Yeah, this is the truth. Let me tell you. The mind is divided into various segments. Let me talk about just three. There's the right side of the mind. This is the right side of the mind, and this is the left side of the mind. And there is also the lower bit of the mind. Now, the lower bit of the mind down here, the cerebellum, is where emotions are made. And up there, that's where logic and that's where the technical stuff happens. So, to be honest, this body, if we want it can generate conversations between itself. The left can speak to the right. The left and right can speak with the cerebellum, or the wild bit of the brain where emotions are made. Logic is up there. Wisdom is somewhere there, and the sight is there. Hearing is somewhere there. Now, all these things, they can interact at different levels and at different times with each other if you learn how to do it through meditation, through mindfulness, through contemplative prayer. And all you need to do is to teach yourself to be still and let God be God. But Atanga, when we started, I said, I had a terrible back ache. I'm recovering. It's almost gone. It's almost done. I could not sit for 45 minutes. It's 49 minutes now on my clock here before. But now I can. And How did I do it? How did I manage to do it? It was through prayer. Tonight on Facebook, I will be live talking about how to survive with what you have got. If you have got pain, if pain is all what you have got, how can you survive with just pain? I survived when I had pain, and it's all that I had. And there is a way to survive with that. Let us meet tonight after 9 o'clock to talk about how to survive. Nyika iri kurwadziwa, vanhu vari kuchema, vanhu vari kutambudzika, misha iri kuparara, vanhu vari kusara vari voga, vanhu vari kusungwa. There are people out there in the world, not only in Zimbabwe, but in other parts of the world. Hey, do you know what is happening in Iraq at the moment? Misha iri kuparara, vanhu vari kufa, vanhu vari kusara vari vega. When you have got just one thing remaining, or you have nothing, how can you survive with nothing? That is our talk tonight. God bless you. And may He continue to shower His blessings. May you be healed. May you be strengthened. And a very good afternoon to you. And thanks for your prayers, my dear friends. And also, thanks for watching and thanks for sharing. I can say I am happy that we have reached 4,000 subscribers. There is 4,000 of us on YouTube, and we are growing slowly. We will get to 1 million. We will get there. It might take a year. It might take 2 years. It might take 1 million years. But what I know is, namwari ari kudenga uko, we will get to 1 million subscribers because of you, because you share. You also encourage your friends and family to watch and to subscribe. God bless you and good afternoon.